Today I'm going to teach you how to make tiramisu. Classic Italian dessert, very simple. You don't need an oven. You don't really need any skills in pastry or baking. You need a whisk or a KitchenAid, some eggs, mascarpone cheese, chocolate, sugar, some cream if you like. You don't necessarily need cream, and just some ambition, I suppose. It is a beautiful thing to make for your friends, your family, and it's simple. You're gonna love it, all right? So, I've got mascarpone cheese, I've got eggs, I've got sugar. Basically what we're gonna do is whisk egg yolks with some sugar, make sort of like a zabayon or a bain-marie, okay? And then we're gonna have mascarpone cheese, thinned out a little bit of cream, whipped, a little bit of icing sugar, and make sort of like a sweet mascarpone, cream, light, foldable concoction that we're then gonna fold into our zabayon. A little bit of Amaretto, okay? And then we're going to soak our ladyfingers in our coffee liqueur. We're gonna make a nice little cake, a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of bun, a little bit of boom. We're gonna have a beautiful dessert for you to give to your friends and family. Let's start. Let's start with mascarpone cheese, okay? Into a KitchenAid mixer. This is 250 grams. The thing about tiramisu is just don't make it too crazy. Don't make it too complicated. Be simple about it. Into that mascarpone, what we're gonna do is put one little, hey, how you doing, of 35% whipping cream. How you doing? Nice to see you, okay? I've got my 250 grams of mascarpone cheese. I've got one how you doing of 35% whipping cream, and I'm gonna put a little, how's the wife, how's the kids, of icing sugar, okay? How you been? Been a while. Nice to see you. Fantastic. Little pro tip, if you are using a KitchenAid and you don't have that much contents inside of it and you find it's not coming from the base, you're not really getting enough mixing that you need, it's fine. It's not really ideal, but you can kind of hold the bowl up a little bit and give it a little bit more room, all right? And you can have it touch the bottom a little bit more, okay? Also, don't forget to scrape the sides of your bowl down with a Maurice. What we want is to lighten up that mascarpone cheese a little bit, whip some air into it so it's a little bit more light and not so intense and heavy. That way, when we fold our zabayon into it, it doesn't destroy the volume, the air volume that's in there, all right? Put the icing sugar just for a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of flavor, okay? So I'll show you what it looks like. Basically like whipped cream, okay, with some mascarpone cheese inside of it. Mascarpone cheese, a little bit of cream, a little bit of icing sugar. Very simple, very easy, very light, very delicious, very beautiful. We're gonna stick that just to the side. We're gonna put it in the fridge for now and keep it cool, all right? So, in this pan, I have espresso, okay? Just plain black espresso with nothing in it, okay? I'm gonna be adding to this, all right? I'm gonna be adding two things. Kahlua, coffee liqueur, okay, and sugar. Those are the only two things I'm gonna be adding. How much booze you wanna put? How boozy do you want it to be? It's kind of a question of what do you want? What do you like? What do you like to eat? You know? Me personally, tiramisu should be a little bit boozy. Should almost be the question of, would you like a tiramisu for dessert? No, thank you. I have to drive home. That's kind of where you wanna be at. Okay, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of espresso, a little bit of Kahlua. Now, classic tiramisu, made, you know, in Italy years ago, never really cooked the egg. It was always made raw. Like, there's a couple different schools of thought when you're making tiramisu now. It's kind of like you're cooking the sugar to 120 degrees and you're pouring that into the egg as it whips, and then you will basically cook the egg yolk. Or you can kind of do this over a bain-marie. So you have your sugar, egg yolk whisked together. So you would have it over a pan with boiling water, and this bowl over the top of it. That water from the pan would go into the bottom of the bowl and cause, you know, bain-marie, cause steam, and you'd whisk it as you cook it. And basically that volume would get higher and you'd end up with it cooked. Now, what I'm gonna do is make my zabayon, okay? I'm gonna separate the yolks from the whites. Okay, yolks I'm gonna put into a stainless steel bowl, whites I'm gonna set to the side, all right? About 6 egg yolks here. Into that I'm gonna put roughly 100 grams of caster sugar. got my egg yolks here in a bowl, all right? Into that, I'm gonna put roughly about 75 to 100 grams of white castor sugar. Onto my bain-marie. I've got a pot here with water in it, about this high. Pot's medium to high heat. And basically the steam from that water is gonna go to the bottom of the bowl and it's gonna start gently cooking those eggs. As those eggs gently cook, I'm just gonna whisk them, all right? Into here, I'm gonna put a splash of Amaretto. Now, you don't want this to get too hot, all right? If you get too hot, you're gonna have scrambled eggs. Not ideal. Notice that the eggs may be starting to cook to the sides of the bowl. It's a little bit too hot, too much heat. Fine, just take it off, turn the pan down a little bit, and bring it back, all right? And keep whisking it. You're really building air, volume, all right? It has volume, all right, and it's cooked. It tastes lightly of Amaretto, okay, and it's cooked egg yolk, all right. That basically what we're gonna do is just let that cool down a little bit, and we're gonna then fold that into our whipped cream and mascarpone mixture that we started earlier, all right. Next step, all right, we have our mascarpone and cream and whipped cream situation that we started earlier. We have our zabayon that we cooked just now over a bain-marie. And basically what we're gonna do is mix these two together, okay? What you wanna think about whenever you're mixing two things together like this that have air that you wanna keep is making the sort of the densities the same, making it so one can mix into the other without destroying the air that you've kept in it, right? So a good way to do that is to do it a little bit at a time. To take some of this, which is thicker, okay, and basically put it in here and thin it up. Okay, you're sort of destroying it, but you're making this lighter. Then you want to just add it, okay? It's better to go with the lighter one into the heavier one than vice versa. Don't be afraid to really mix it, but then as you start to get towards the end, I would say really try and do a bit more folding actions. All right, one of these over the top, trying really to conserve that air that's in there. We have our coffee concoction that we started earlier. We have our chocolate, we have cocoa powder, and we have ladyfingers. You can make the dough for this cake really simple: egg white, egg yolk, flour, lemon zest. There's a lot of recipes for it, but to be honest, it's arguably more classic to just buy Italian branded ladyfingers and use them. Equally as delicious. I could just go a little bit on the bottom. Now, what you want to do is go ladyfingers into your coffee. Do not soak the fucking shit out of your ladyfingers. You'll have no texture in your tiramisu. Sometimes people leave them in for way too long. There's coffee all the way through. In reality, they're so dry, they're so airy. Give them a little roll, and the coffee that you want to go in there will permeate automatically, and it'll be enough. But realistically, it's one of them. I don't know if you guys really realize how quick that was, but it's pretty damn quick. I would say it's, hello, how are you? That's it. Ask it how it's doing, and then take it the fuck up. Do another layer of my zabayon. I like to go a little bit of chocolate in between the layers, personally. That's just straight up cocoa powder. All right, and then again with our ladyfingers. Now we're ready. The rest of the zabayon that we made earlier. Cocoa powder. And I like to do grated chocolate. I like to do both, cocoa powder and grated chocolate, because I'm crazy like that. Et voila! So here you have your finished tiramisu, okay? Now I know it's tempting to cut into it and eat it right now. The best thing to do though is to let it set up in the fridge. Pop it in the fridge, let it sit for like 30 minutes, let that chill sort of set that egg zabayon mixture that you made, and it'll kind of cut a little bit more clean, all right? And it'll hold up together a bit nicer. You'll have a nice, beautiful piece of dessert, all right? So that's what I'm gonna do now, and I'll show you the finished product.
Fucking that. Fuck, I love tiramisu.